Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? How's everybody doing? Um, First and foremost, I apologize. I was supposed to be on yesterday, but I just got back from the doctor and my back was killing me. So I apologize for that. Um, is that Pooh Man? Pooh Man, is that you that just popped up in here? I hope that's Pooh. Hope that's Pooh looking at me. So anyway, Ronan, the other mod. Hope you're not busy. I got some stuff for mods to do. If you're not busy, if you go down in the description, there's my other channels that I have in my social media. If you can post that, I greatly appreciate it. And if you can do that, I'll explain what they are. Um, Salute to you, my friend. I have a second channel and some other social media networks. I also been doing some DJing, learning how to DJ. I have a channel called DJ Ancient One. Um, that's me just going through a DJ journey. I've been DJing in house music and stuff like that. So the links will be put up when I get a chance. They're down in the description. So when they get posted, you guys go over there and support me and subscribe to the channel, like the videos and stuff like that. I greatly appreciate it. What else we got going on? Yeah, today's video is a double play, so we're going to be here for a little bit. Basically, if Pooh Man's here, let me know. Basically, we're going to do a double play, and it's going to be on Mexico. We're going to do residency, and we're also going to do the cheapest 10 cheapest cities in Mexico where the climate is good. We're basically going to be doing that because I know there's some places in Mexico where the climate, especially like the beach areas, where the climate's going to get certain times of the year, the climate's going to be bad. But basically, I found 10 cheap cities in Mexico where the climate's going to be just absolutely just good. But first, we're going to start off with getting your residency. And this is something I know personally because I have my residency in Mexico. So residency in Mexico, it's fairly simple. If you meet the requirements, let me start off with that. It's basically a simple kind of a two-step process. First starts the process, and it starts in two places. One is going to start in the United States at the Mexican consulate, and it's going to end in the immigration office within Mexico. Okay. And the most common route is going to be economic sovereignty. Now, let me explain what economic sovereignty is. Basically, they're going to look at how much money you make in the past 6 months. That's economic sovereignty. And basically, you're going to start off when you do this, you're going to have temporary residency. And after a certain time frame, you can apply for your permanent residency. Everyone starts off with temporary residency with certain exceptions. Okay. So that's how I'm starting off. Right now, I'm renewed my temporary residency for 3 years. And after the third year, I can apply for my permanent. So it's kind of a lengthy process in a sense, but it's pretty much an easy process if you do it. First, we start off with the temporary residency. Hold up a second. I got someone trying to. deal with that later. All right. Basically, right now, temporary residency for stays over 180 days and up to 4 years, you have to get temporary residency. You must prove a monthly net income of roughly 4,400 USD over the last 6 months, or show a minimum balance of roughly $74,000 US in savings and investment, which can be a combined, it could be a combination of that can lead up to $74,000. Now, here's the kicker of this whole thing, and this is where things get convoluted. It all depends on the Mexican consulate you go to in the United States, because they may ask for more or less. This is just the standard that is asked for by the Mexican immigration. But the Mexican consulate here operates differently. So you have to check with that particular consulate that's in your city to see if you can get that, what they're asking for. So that's the whole weird thing about it. They may ask for more paperwork, they may ask for less paperwork. It all depends. And I highly recommend when to go check the website and then call to confirm, just so you make sure if anything hasn't changed, if you want to get this. So that's going to be basically, the amount is going to be $4,400 every month that you would have to make. You can show it through pay stub or bank account. They just need to see proof. Basically, I'm going to let you know this right now. When you have all your paperwork and all your ducks in the road, when you go over there, you're going to get interviewed. Okay, so I'm not saying dress in a three-piece suit or anything like that, but dress business casually and be professional and get ready to be interviewed, because you can have all your paperwork there and everything ready, and they can say no. So be advised that it's not a guarantee, but be advised that they can say no. So it's up to them. So anyway, this is for renewal. Basically, the temporary card gets renewed. You'll get the first initial card, which will be for 1 year. It can be renewed up to 3 additional years, which is what I'm on, because I got my initial 1 year card, and then I went in January and got the 3 year card. After the 4th consecutive year of the temporary residency, you're going to convert it to permanent residency. This is probably the most common and basic path to get permanent residency in Mexico. Yeah, it takes 5 years, but it's more of a simpler path. There's a quicker path, but I'm not going to really get into that. And then you got permanent residency. Indefinite stay, you must be retired or have close family ties. Family threshold is higher, requiring monthly income of roughly $7,400 US, or savings around over $250,000 over the last 12 months. Okay, that can be if you have an IRA that accumulated like over 298,000, that'll get you permanent residency, easy peasy. So you're good that way. Now, go to the next one. Gather your documents, including bank statement, passports, photos, and schedule your appointment. I don't know with this meet consulate thing. I think basically just go to the local consulate website and do whatever the process says. The visa fee is going to be about $56. But I'm going to say this: if you're really interested in doing this, do it now, because every year that whole this fee for $4,400 changes. It changes every year because it's based upon the wages in Mexico, and it gets converted. So this, because I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, that 4,400 used to be 2,500 a month. And you see how quickly it shot up to 44. So expect it to go higher. Hey, Pooh. Hey, Pooh, man, if you notice that Ronan put up those, those are my channels, my social media channels. They're in my description. So be prepared to post those up later on. So just to let you know. But anyway, yeah, these are going to go up in the future. And it's going to get very expensive for people to get in this. I barely made, when I did it, I was at 41. And that was about a year and a half ago, 41. So be advised about that. Even the fees, this 56, it was 51 about a year ago. So basically, what's going to happen is when you go to the consulate within the United States, a Mexican consulate, not the U.S., but the Mexican consulate, you're going to go with the paperwork and all that stuff, do your interview. They say everything's a go. Come back in a couple hours. You're going to leave all your stuff there, including your passport. Come back in a couple hours. Boom. They're going to say, take this little slip, go over to the cashier and pay your fees. You're going to pay your fees. She's going to give you a receipt. You're going to go back to the lady. Lady's going to give you your passport. Your passport's going to have a sticker on it. That sticker, it's going to be good for 6 months. Okay? That is for you to go into Mexico. All right? That's your temporary residency card, residency sticker. This is what you need to do. And I have to, now you can see I put it in bold down below, but I'm going to tell you this. When you go to Mexico, there's that little scanner to scan your passport. You do not go there. You go to the immigration desk where the people are at and show them that sticker, because they have to fill that sticker out, because that's what you need to go to whoever you're going to see to do your paperwork. Because basically the paperwork is in Spanish. You can get it off their website, but it's in Spanish. But I highly recommend you get one of the relocation services. I have that. I have the one that I use in the description for you to do your paperwork. You can reach out to them. They cost me about like $300. You set it up. They'll do your paperwork. You meet up with them. They're going to tell you basically when you land in Mexico, do not go through the machines with your passport. You go to the desk. But basically, when you go into Mexico with your approved visa, you have about 30 calendar days to visit the INM office to finalize your paperwork. That means once you're in Mexico, you got 30 days. But basically, you got about 6 months to get into Mexico. But when you're in Mexico, you got 30 days to get all that stuff done. That's what basically this is saying. So you got 6 months to do what you got to do. Okay? If not, then you got to go through this whole thing all over again. Now, check the different consulates for their requirements. Like I said, once you get that sticker on your passport, you have 6 months to go to Mexico and get that thing done. Get that stamp. Get that thing stamped. Use the relocation services in Mexico to do your paperwork. Spend that extra $300. It's going to do you. It's going to be the best thing you're going to spend. You're going to go to the major cities to get your card. The reason why I say go to places like Mexico City, is this. Certain cities is going to take you days to do. Mexico Cities, you'll have it in about a couple hours. I will tell you, when I was in Mexico City, if I scheduled it in the morning, I like say 9 o'clock, I walked with my card. I was in there for the most 3 hours. 3 hours. It's like being in DMV. And if you guys in the major city with DMV, you know how that process is going to be. And trust me, in Mexico City, that's going to be long. Might be able to do the same in Guadalajara, but definitely Mexico City would be the ideal place to go get your card. You'll have it the same day. If you go any place else, it may be a week, might be longer. I don't know. That's the thing. But if you want to have yours the same day, go to Mexico City. Immigration fees are going to go up every year. I'm going to show you that chart if it's there. Take a quick look. Yeah, it's there. That's a nightmare. And be prepared for a lot of standing and sitting. That's all I got to say. Do not whip out your phones when you're out there, because they're big on not having things recorded. So you might want to bring just a regular book. That's just how it is over there. So, like I said, at the Mexican consulate, you will get interviewed, because they're going to ask you questions about job, education, and stuff like that. They have asked me that question, because I was in cybersecurity and all that stuff. We talked and this and that, because they want to see who's actually getting it and what reasons and all this other stuff. So be prepared to get interviewed. They will determine if you will get that sticker on that passport or not, regardless of whether you meet the requirements. For an address, because basically they're going to ask for an address for you. You can use a hotel. Okay, I don't own any property or anything like that, so you can use a hotel address. There's no minimum stay requirement for Mexico. So, like certain places, you got to have a minimum stay of 7 days. You don't have that in Mexico. It's a pocket residency. So you're good. And once you get it, monitor the changes in immigration policy, as they will change on you. So keep that in mind. So now, consulate fees, this is where things get funky. And I'm sorry it looks all crummy like that. I had it better like this, but I guess when it converted over here, I had these converted. Temporary residence for 1 year is now $634.79. It was half that last year. Okay. For 2 years, it's $951.18. That's US, by the way, not Mexican. I know it says Mexican, but it's actually US, because I converted all these on this PowerPoint. For the 3 years, it's $1,204.69. And for 4 years, it's $1,427.78. And when you get your permanent residency, it's $773.72. This is all going to change next year. We don't know how far it's going to go up, but this will change next year. So that's the thing. If you're going to do it, I highly recommend you do it now before these fees go up. Because when I had to go back and renew it for the 3 years, I was taken off guard by just $1,200. And they had just changed it like a week or two before I got there. So I didn't know what the fee was going to be. I thought it was going to be like $600. They said it doubled on them. They didn't even know. So I had ended up paying this on top of paying for the services that they did. So I spent a lot of money renewing my card. So keep that in mind. And these are the people that I use. Mex Experience. This is their website, and the people that actually did the paperwork are Yucatan Expatriate Services. They're the one that actually did the paperwork and set everything up with my appointments and everything. Um, Great service. They took care of me, so I use them. There are other services out there. If you want to go look, they're fine. But these are the people I use. So go check them out if you're interested. Again, I'm telling y'all right now, if you're even thinking about doing it, I highly recommend um, doing it now, getting your stuff together now. And again, that 4,400 a year, it can be a combination. It doesn't have to be from one source. It could be from multiple sources as long as it comes monthly. So say you work a regular job, but you also have a side hustle job like Uber driving or doing Uber Eats and stuff like that. As long as it comes out to that amount, you're good. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's how you can get residency. You guys got any questions on that? Pop them in there. Yeah, thanks, Pooh, for putting that up there. That's Mex Experiences is like online newsletter, but they'll put you in contact with Yucatan Expatriate Services because they advertise for them. But yeah, you guys definitely would definitely enjoy Mexico. I will tell you, for the life of me, I had such a wonderful time. The Out of the places I've been to, and I've been to Brazil, Canada, Iceland, um, and a couple other places. I will tell you, Mexico gave me like the best service, the best hospitality with love. I kid you not. So that's why I got my whatchamacallit. That's why I got my residency from. Next will probably be the Philippines. More than likely will be the Philippines. So yeah, Ronan, I'm going to the Philippines. But I'm taking a trip to Thailand first though. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on the Philippines, getting their probably getting their permanent residency card. But anyway. Um Now for the other one we're gonna be doing. Top 10 cheapest cities in Mexico with the best climate. Now, I know there's some places in Mexico that's hot when it's summertime. It gets muggy, but I kind of look for places where it's cooler elevation pretty much all year round. It's really nice. So, and it's still cheap. So basically, you don't really have to, never gets too cold, no AC, no heaters, no humidity, but you can still live cheaply. So this is the cities that I found, and we're going to go from 10 to 1. Um, Starting with obviously Mexico City. And let me tell you about Mexico City. You're looking at renting a one bedroom, which is going to run about 700 to 1400 in expat friendly zones like Romanote or Condesa, or 450 700 if you go just a few blocks outside of those areas. Um, is this thing working? Yeah, hold a second. Just making sure this video is working. Let me remove this for a second, guys. Here we go. Okay, Mexico City. Like I said, and we're talking just like a few blocks away from, the more popular places where the expats go. You know, uh, Roma Norte or Condesa or even Polanco or Roman Sor. Those areas, a few blocks, you may get it a little bit cheaper. Um, because you'll hear the term more notably. They call Mexico City CDMX. Um, has a lot of restaurant scenes out there, so that's a budget. Your food budget's going to be about 250 to 400 a month if you're mostly cooking your own meals and eating out a few times a week. Health insurance, pretty much overall, you're looking at, and this is for all of the cities, you're looking at about between 50 to 150 a month, depending on age and coverage. But if you become a citizen, it's going to be free healthcare as of next year because they're just going free healthcare, and plus the increase in wages if you decide to get a job there. Internet's going to run about 20 to 35 a month. Utilities are going to be pretty low, especially in mild elevation because Mexico City sits pretty high. I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, 11,000 feet elevation. And so there's really no need for AC. And if you do, you're looking at the utilities like $30 to $70 a month. So adding up your costs, and this is mostly going to be the heavy burden is going to be mostly your rent. You're looking at anywhere from 1,005 to maybe 2,000 a month total, depending on where you're living. So this is going to be the priciest of all your cities. It's going to be Mexico City. So the next one's going to be San Miguel del Allende, um, which is another big city on the expat scene. Um, Rent for one bedroom is going to range anywhere between 4 and 900, depending on how close you are to the historical center. Food runs a bit higher than other colonial cities on the list, so budget about 250 to 350 a month. Um, since there's a lot of restaurant scenes, is priced for an expat market. They're going to give you gringo prices, so that's the thing you're going to have to worry about: gringo prices. Health insurance going to be set around 60 to 150 a month for private coverage. Internet 25 to 40 a month. Utilities stay mild at about 30 to 60 a month. Really no need for AC or heat. Again, we're looking at high elevation areas. Simple, like think about it. If you guys been to Medellin, Colombia, that's what we're looking at in terms of climate. So basically, you're roughly looking at about, say, 8 to 1,500 a month for a single person. It's beautiful, walkable, safe, but it's a really a nice expat type community. Um, I don't know too much about infrastructure. I know the hospitals, the healthcare is not going to be in the level like being in a major city, but it is what it is. You do have clinics and stuff over there, so think about that. If you need major stuff, you're probably gonna have to fly into Mexico City or some of the other major cities. But still, you got a really good Guadalajara. And with that, shout out to QB Passport Flexing and Ulysses Travels because this is their spot. And Guadalajara, the eternal spring climate. They do get a little muggy, so I don't even know why this is on the list. But anyway, um, your one bedroom is going to run about 410 up to about 900, even a little bit higher depending on where you're going. Like if you go into Zapopan, it's going to be higher. That's more of like Orange County type prices. You know, um, you start getting more into the luxury. Food is affordable, about like 180 to 280, 300 a month. If you're doing home cooked meal with some eating out. Health insurance is going to be about 50 to 120. Internet's going to be cheap, around 31 a month. Utilities 30 to 70. Climate's going to be mild. So you're looking basically at 7 to 1400 a month, depending on where you're at. If you're down in Talapake, which is more of it's going to be a nicer area, but cheaper. So you're going to be saving a little bit more. I think you're going to be like 25% cheaper than Guadalajara. So that's another area you may want to look at. But this is that's one area I definitely got to get down to, because I got to figure out when QB and Ulysses going to be in that area, because I want to link up with those. They got a nice club down there too, man. Some nice honey bunnies down there. They even got some Colombianas down there too. So as you can see, yeah, that place jumps. So I definitely want to head down there. That's on my bucket list to go check out in Mexico. Then you have Oaxaca City. This is where the budget starts dropping. Rent for one bedroom in Centro, you're looking at about 400 to 600. Food, you're looking at about 150 to 2 a month. Realistically, when market meals cost about $2 to $3. Doctor visits is going to run about 20. Health insurance maybe about 40 to 100 a month for private coverage. Internet about 20 to 35 a month. Utilities are running around 30 to 60 a month. So your cost is going to be between $6,000 and $1,000 cost of living. This is one of the cheapest cities in the entire list. But your trade-off, basically, again, you really got to get functional with Spanish. You really got to learn Spanish, guys, because that's going to be the key, and especially for all these other cities. You're not going to really get by with just English. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Because some of these cities are not going to be built for just English speakers. So, got to keep that in mind. But you're looking at these medium-sized cities. They're not going to get a lot of the English travelers and stuff like that in them. So when you get these expats, they're fully prepared to speak Spanish. But definitely when you look at these numbers, and again, if you're talking about you're a vet and you're getting 70, 80, 90% disabilities, look at the additional savings you're earning on top of that. If your ultimate cost is like $1,000 a month, look at the reserve money you're getting on top of that. So that gives you affordability to get, your own transportation to pay for or whatever. So you have savings, or you need to fly back home, you'll have that extra money built up. So, oh, Bobby, you're gonna need a list breakdown. Oh, Lord have mercy, you're gonna make me work. But if you go to numero.com, you can probably get a better idea, a better list on that. They'll give you a breakdown on some of these cities and stuff like that in Mexico. Let me see, type that in there. Pause this real quick, guys. Hold up a second, guys. Yeah, if you go to that website, you can probably get more of a breakdown, estimate, and stuff like that. You can get some information that way. Thanks, Pooh. And the safety on these is like definitely, definitely going to get some good safety on these cities and stuff. They're pretty safe cities on top of that. So you're going to be doing well. Oh yeah, this is one I'm seriously eyeballing. Puebla. Puebla, big city infrastructure with a small price. Rent 1 bedrooms. It's going to run about 3 to 400, or up to about 6 to 9 in nicer zones like Angel Populous. Food about 180 to 260 a month. Health insurance going to be about 50 to 120. Internet, you're looking at maybe 25 to 40. Utilities, maybe about 30 to 65 a month. Elevation over there is about 7,000 feet. So again, minimum AC and heating. Now, keep this in mind. This city is about 2 hours north of Mexico City. So if you don't want to deal with the prices of the big city, you can go about 2 hours away from there. So now you're looking at maybe your total is about cost of living about 600 to maybe about 1,200 a month. So that's going to be pretty good when you look at it. And you're only about maybe, and I know there's a train or bus service that goes between Puebla and Mexico City. So that's a very good advantage if you're interested. So, but that's really, really good if you're talking about, if you want to move down there for that lower price, especially guys that's getting the veterans or the guys that are, getting Social Security, you know. Next, Cuernavaca. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Cuernavaca. Yes, which means the city of eternal springs. You're looking at rent being about maybe 400 to 700, depending on how close you are to the historical center or newer developments. Food about 180 to 270 a month. Um, Health insurance 50 to 130. And this city has one of the largest concentration of English speaking doctors in the country, thanks to its long established expat community. So this will be another ideal place for expats to go. Internet 25 to 40 a month. Utilities here stand out because you generally don't need AC or heat at 70-degree year round. 70 degrees year round. So this is going to be ideal. This is ideal. Expect about 25 to 50 a month. Some of the lowest utility costs on the entire list. So basically, you're going to be doing a massive savings. So you're looking at your roughly costs maybe about 650 to 7 to 11, 1,200 a month. An hour from Mexico City. Wow. And you got low utility bills. Think about it. You may have a job in Mexico City, you get yourself a car, and all you got to do is just drive back and forth for an hour. That ain't bad. And you save money. That is not bad. So that is pretty damn good. If you're talking about just picking up and leaving and just getting a new job over there, this is awesome. Just driving to work or take whatever train service there is, that's pretty damn good. Beautiful scenery, dog. Can't beat it. And again, if you're coming in the room, hit the like button for me, please. I greatly appreciate it, man. And that's a Walmart, by the way. That building's a Walmart. So you'll get the nature, you get the amenities of being back in the US here. Cannot beat this, man. Next is Guanajuato, Mexico, which, no, excuse me, I went up too fast. Quarantaro. Quarantaro. I got to work on my Spanish, but this is a small city. Least expensive in least expensive city in Mexico, according to Numero, and one of the safest. Oh wow, this is a very small. I love those building designs with the yellow and reddish. Beautiful, man. Um, Rent for a one bedroom, good area. Um, we're looking at 4 to 750. Food 180 to 280. Health insurance, again, we're talking 50 to 120. Internet 23 to 38 a month. Utilities 30 to 65 a month. So you're looking at roughly 680 to 112 a month. Um, it's just very comfortable for a single. And this is all singles, by the way. These are not family numbers, these are single numbers. Um, Single lifestyle, private health care for around, no, that's what's that? Private health care insurance for around 22 to 2700 a month once you add in dining out, a car, and extras. So you start throwing in extras, your stuff is going to jump up to 2200 to 2700. But if you want to keep it down, I would throw out the dining out and the extras. If you want to just get a car, hey, that's cool if you want to do that, you know. But again, man, and it doesn't seem like you could be getting out. You're not going to like some really, really small city. There's areas are small, but you're still like in a metropolis type of environment. You know, I don't know what the lifestyle's like. That's something you can investigate later. I mean, San Miguel Aliente seems like it's like mid-sized type of city, but most of these cities you're looking at pretty much metropolis type. So there should be some downtown activities and stuff that'll keep you guys entertained if you're used to big city life, or that type of stuff. You just got to figure out where's the scene at. Now this should be Guanajuato. Guanajuato. Yes, this is Guanajuato. Um, this is the budget alternative to San Miguel. Has still that. Oh, look, Black Jesus. Someone got Black Jesus right. Thank you. Definitely gonna go with it. Check that out. But anyway, budget alternative San Miguel, same colonial historical charm, roughly 30% cheaper. Rent for a furnished one bedroom. And that's the beauty of it. Some of these places you go down in South America, their places come furnished. Even like if you buy a condo, they come furnished. So a furnished one bedroom flat for 500 to 650. Food, you're looking at 150 to 220 a month. Health insurance 40 to 110 a month. Internet 20 to 35 a month. Utilities 30 to 55. So roughly you're looking at 750 to 1100 a month. Same type atmosphere, 70-degree on average for the rest of the highlands, and low prices and stuff, and you know cheap living. And you're basically getting that whole I live in Medellin, Colombia with nice weather type of atmosphere. That's what you're getting, minus getting scopolamine and everything and all the other stuff. And notice how everything's not clamored together and stuff like that. And and everything's colorful and clean, and it just has a beauty to it, you know. But still needs more investigating and stuff like that. But these are like hidden gems in Mexico City that a lot of people don't really know about. But it's worth exploring and worth checking out to see what life is like, and what's the scene, and what's there to do, and whether you want to live there or not. Just beautiful. Yeah, we got two more to go. And this one I couldn't find a lot of video on for some reason. I don't know why. But this is kind of like they really nobody really talks about this particular this next city. But I think it's worth checking out this next city. Um Agua Calientes. Yeah. Rent for a one bedroom furnished as low as 300 to 350. Food 150 to 200 a month. Health insurance, um they're saying about 500 a year, roughly 42 a month, or a private plan for 50 to 100 a month. If you want faster access and English speaking doctors, internet 20 to 35 a month, utilities, electricity alone runs for like 17 to 28 every 2 months without AC or heat. Plus gas is around 33 to 38 a month. So your total utilities are going to run about 50 to 70 a month. So roughly they're looking at maybe about 6 to 9 a month. One of the safest cities in the country, semi-dry, pleasant climate, and generally one of the cheapest full cost of living numbers in the entire list. Super cheap. You're not going to get anything cheaper than this place. I'm not sure where exactly it's at, though. But super duper cheap. And that's number two on our list. Now we're going to get down to the cheapest one. And it's a city, it's a place where a lot of English speaking expats are at, believe it or not. And I think next time what I'll do is I'll get locations on where these places are at, because it's like all over the place. I'm not sure exactly where this is at, because Mexico's just so big. But and the last one, Lake Chapala. And let me tell you about Lake Chapala. This is where a lot of expats, whether Canadian or American, this is where they're at. One bedroom runs at 450 to 750. A little less than San Miguel. I think those numbers are going to be a little bit up. Um, Big concentration of expats, so you're going to get a lot of English speaking people there. Uh, Food's about 180 to 260 a month. Health insurance 50 to 130. It's basically English speaking healthcare with Guadalajara 45 minutes away for anything advanced. Internet 25 to 40 a month. Utilities, this is the number that matters most because the temperature generally never swings more than 13 degrees all year. January average 71, May's 84. You basically never touches the AC, so expect 25 to 50 a month. So they're looking at roughly this is going to be like 750 to 1200 a month for a single person. Or that classic couple that figure 1800 to 28 a month. But if you add in dining, car, and social life, they say this is the best climate in the country, deep infrastructure, and doesn't break the bank. That's why they consider this one, Lake Chapala, number one. Uh, I know there's a huge expat community in Lake Chapala. I know that for a fact, but very, very big expat community. A lot of old folks. A lot of old folks come down to Lake Chapala. To give you honorable mention, Merida. Merida, I didn't put the video up for Merida. You can get 600 for a one bedroom. The thing about it is the climate is going to be hot and humid all year round. So you're going to be doing the AC 80 to 200 bucks a month. So you especially like in the summer. But your rent and stuff, your foods are going to be cheap. It's just Merida is by the coast, so you're dealing with the humidity coming off the water. That's the only thing with Merida. So if I was a betting man and I was to choose which, and this is just me personally, Puebla is good because the fact it's closer to Puebla and Guanajuato, because they're close to Mexico City. Those sound very interesting to me. Those two sound very, very interesting to me. I'm not sure where the other locations of these cities are at because they didn't spit that to me, but I know definitely where Puebla is. Puebla is about 2 hours away. That is very interesting to me. Guadalajara, that's another little interesting, but I think they're a little wrong on the climate, because I know when I talked to Ulysses when he was down there, he said it gets freaking hot over there. So I think that's a misleading off of that. But the cost of living is definitely wrong, especially go to Tacapay. When you go to Tacapay is cheap, and that's a safe city, and it's right next door in Guadalajara. So I recommend that. So basically, those are the top 10 with mild to spring-like weather all year round. And also, those are the things. Anybody got any questions with the? Actually, what I'll do is I'll pop a link. I'll do a link just in case you guys got any questions regarding the process of doing the Mexican temp visas and stuff. I will say with the visas, it's not a daunting task, to be honest with you. It's pretty easy if anybody want to come up. The visa process is it's going to be changing. Every year it does change. You just got to choose the right consulate. You might have to travel to another state. I'm being totally honest with you. If you want to be able to get something that not so daunting and stuff in terms of the you have to forgive the noise if you hear noise, because I'm going through a dust storm right now, because where I'm at, it's monsoon season, and it usually starts with a dust storm. Anyway, but the process for getting the uh the the temp visas, it's not that hard. It's just you just gotta just have your ducks in a row. Um, it is going to get expensive, and I'm starting to see that to the point where it's going to be very difficult for people to get it. So you might have to go to another country to get whatever visas you can. I will be doing another show on that. Um, I think the cheapest one that I'm seeing right now is Ecuador. Um, but again, that's you going way down to Ecuador, and I don't know what their additional requirements are. This is a pocket visa. I don't have property in Mexico. Like I said, I'm using a hotel address, which is fine, and I'm have this. I'm on year 2 of this visa, and I can go in and out. Now, the thing I have to do when I go, like I say, if I go take a trip to Mexico, I have to always go to the immigration desk and show my ID so they can register me because I'm pretty much like a citizen there. So I'm always registered. And when I leave, I have to go to the immigration desk. I know I'm leaving. So I always have to go in, out, in, out, in, out, That's the whole thing with the card. And then eventually I'll get permanent residency. So this is a really good thing to have. Um, so if you guys are interested in doing that, again, we have the Mex experience up here. That's the newsletter. They'll guide you into to the resources to get you in line with the services that will help you with. And the services are going to be about $300. And basically, what had happened is, prior to me going, I had a video call with one of the representatives, and we talked, and they sent me a link so I can pay them. I paid them, and then I flew down there when I had my passport sticker on there. When I had the sticker they gave me from the consulate, got it signed. Met up with the lady at the office. Showed the sticker, so she needed to see it because she had to make copies, and she already had the paperwork ready. And then we asked a few questions, signed a few papers. Then she escorted me over to the immigration office, which I'm gonna tell you, there was everybody and everybody's mother up in that office. I mean, I had Chinese, Mormons, Africans. I kid you not. Everybody and everybody's mother was up in that office. Argentinians, Spaniards. It seemed like everybody wanted to be a Mexican citizen. I swear to God. The Mexicans getting their passports and stuff renewed and all this other stuff. So I was there um, playing musical chairs because you had to move from one seat to another. And then when they call you, you're standing at the desk. You're standing there for a long period of time. They're shuffling through your paperwork. Then they're telling you go over there, and it's a lot of standing. So wear some comfortable shoes, guys and girls. Then they send you upstairs to get your photo taken. All this was like 3 hours. And then afterwards, I let my people know because they're not going to go in there with you. They're just going to drop you off, tell you where you got to go, what to do, and that's it. And after you get inside the building, they're going to disappear, go back to the office. And after you get your card, let them know you got your card. If you lose your card, you notify the consulate back home so you can go through the process again. You're pretty much going to have to go back and get another card and stuff like that. But so keep that card in a safe place. I keep it in a passport wallet that I have with my passport. So it travels with me. Um, but yeah, I have to go through this whole process when I go back and forth in Mexico. So it's really a good thing to have. going back and forth. You're basically a citizen in a sense, a legal resident of Mexico. So you can stay as long as you want. You're not staying on the passport. You're staying on the card. Once you show them that card, you're there. That's it. So stay as long as you want. Not have to worry about renewing this or renewing that or running immigration for visa, this, and that. It's over. And like I said, it's fairly cheap. Now, after the 1 year, you have to go back to renew it. So you go to whatever service you used. Hey, it's coming close to me renewing it. They'll redo your paperwork. You pay them another fee, and whatever the new immigration fee is, you got to pay that. You'll probably go for the 3 year card, which is what it's supposed to be, the 3 year. Pay that fee, and then you get your 3 year card. You don't come back until 3 years. When you're coming close to the end of your 3 years, you give the service a call and say, hey, I want to convert this to permanent. And then if nothing changed in the policy, then you can go and back and just say, hey, let's make this permanent. And everything's okay. Boom. You get your permanent residency. So you're good. Sucks it takes 5 years, but you know what? Not for nothing. Hey, it's good. I think, Paraguay is faster because I think it's like 2 years, but they're making some changes with their policy. They're enforcing a lot of things. But again, this is a paper residency. You don't have to physically live there. It's a pocket residency. So this is the benefit of having that card. And if you decide to be a resident and you live there, and eventually in 2 years, if you want to go for citizenship, you go take their test and do all the stuff you have to go through. You become a dual citizen of Mexico. You get their passports, which is one of the most powerful passports in the world, because now you have you can go to places like Russia, you can go to China. On that passport, you get, I forgot what they call it. It's a business type of access where if you're on business in a particular country, you go to the head of the line with that Mexican passport. So that Mexican passport has a lot of privileges. So I gotta look that up again. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, Mexican passport has a lot of privileges. Not to mention, we just heard the numbers of just, living there for renting and stuff like that. It's definitely doable. I'm also going to do a video on the cheapest cities to live in, just cheapest period. Doesn't matter the climate or anything like that. So we can just examine those so you can have those as an option. Also with Mexico, you can get a job there if you want to do that. You don't have to be on a particular, well, you definitely got to get a work visa, but if you become a citizen or any of that stuff, you're good to go. And that's the thing you guys got to understand. When you choose a country where you have the ability to get a job, even if you're fluent in Spanish, because that's a benefit to you. Because hey, let's go work a remote job because the U.S. dollar is strong. Suppose you lose that remote job, then you're SOL, I should say. Getting these remote jobs are hard. They're not easy to come by. If you got a skill, like say you're in tech or something like that, there may be a tech job you can get right there and there in Mexico if you can read and speak the language. So that's an opportunity for you because they will hire foreigners. So keep that in mind, because there's certain countries that won't hire foreigners. They only hire their locals. They have to be in extreme need. Mexico's not one of them. So, you're really shooting yourself in the foot by going to these other countries where they don't hire foreigners. And you have to work remotely or try to, do all this remote job type of stuff. You're really shooting yourself in the foot. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. You got to be strategically smart on the countries you go to. Um, Plus, also with taxes, depending on the situation, you're going to have to pay that. But I would go to a tax attorney on that one before I even open up my mouth, because I may give you some wrong info. Um, but overall, from what I see in Mexico, and I know I'm sounding biased, I think Mexico's a good deal. You're closer to the United States. The flights are going to run you about anywhere from $300 to $500, depending on where you are. Me being down in Arizona, um, I'm looking at $300 flights, so that's not a big deal. Or if I want to just go to Pueblo Penesco, which is about a 3 hour drive from my house, 3 or 4 hour drive. It's not a big deal, but in reality, a $300 flight, easy peasy. Not going halfway around the world, not going to a country, and worry about getting scoped. Even though we do have crime issues, but there are some great places in Mexico you can go and you can get yourself a condo by the beach or near the beach. You don't have to worry so much about crime and getting robbed. Put your head on the swivel though, but you're generally, in a sense, still more safer than being in Colombia and stuff like that. And I'm not knocking Colombia in any way, shape, or form, but you generally you're a lot better. If I had to choose between Mexico and Colombia, it would be Mexico hands down, even with the cartel. Honestly, I was in, like I said, when I was in Mexico City. If you can go back and you can look at my old videos from when I was in Mexico City, I will tell you, walking around there, I had no problems. Being in the area that I was at, I had no problems. It was nice. It was safe. It was comfortable. I had fun. I didn't have to worry about phone getting snatched or any of that stuff. And there was times I was out at night and it was just comfortable. High end malls and everything. So plus Friday night, go see your Lucha Libre wrestling. That everybody's big on that shit. So, but anyway, I'm rambled on enough like a little crackhead. But anyway, I hope you guys like this one. I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but I gotta redo some. I'm gonna do the shorts again. I just uploaded a bunch of shorts. I'm gonna let that run out, and then I'm going to put out some more shorts. But these are gonna be more cities, hidden gem cities, like we were doing before. Some of them may repeat. Some of them are gonna be new. I just got to change up some of the other things on them, but the shorts are doing pretty well. So I really appreciate you guys liking the shorts. Um, I'm just gonna just do more hidden gems on the shorts, so that way, trying to get more of the algorithm to snatch them up, because I didn't do it too well with when I put them out there. So more shorts are coming with more hidden gem locations for you guys to go on vacation and check them out. Things like that. So other than that, I appreciate you guys, supporting me, and hope you guys like the stuff that I've been putting out lately. More to come, more cheap locations to go that go to visit, and more information about getting cheaper, getting visas and stuff like that. So that's coming. So, and also please support my new social media stuff. It's my Facebook, the Ancient One, which is my DJ channel on Facebook, Mixcloud, the Ancient One, and also the YouTube channel, DJ Ancient One. It's my DJ channel. Please support that. Go over there and support it. I greatly appreciate you guys. Um, just having fun doing some DJing. Um, I just started that channel about 2 weeks ago, and so far so good. Um, Hopefully, I get some of you guys to support it. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, and Hope you enjoy the house music and stuff I'm doing on that. So without further ado, I'll catch you guys later, and hope you guys have a great week and a better weekend. Okay, see you later.